What's up, guys? In this video, I just want to help some people out and just give some advice to some of you. You know, some of you may have purchased these new shocks by TLR. The main focus here is that they are very similar to something we see in kits from TLR. You know, they've got the bleeder screw on the top. You can take them apart from the bottom. They're adjustable. You can also take them apart through the top to fill them up from the top. Very traditional shock, something we're used to seeing on the racing side of things. And once again, this is TLR tuned. So this is supposed to be the racing shock. Those, you could get them from a Mini B Pro Roller, or you could get them as an option part for your Mini B. So essentially, I haven't seen too many people using these shocks, and I feel that is because the reviews online, you can go and see those for yourselves. But I wanted to test that out today because they look very nice. I could not use them, if that makes sense. I needed them. They look like the real thing. So, they state that they have trouble with the O-rings, right? So I opened these up. Both of them actually I'm already done. I put 20 weight oil in both. Picked this up at my local hobby shop. Put some 20 weight oil in there. Essentially, there's an O-ring here though. Right underneath this cap. Not on top. Most people, or at least I am, on the 8th scale side, I'm used to seeing O-rings on top. And they squeeze down and make a seal, correct? But on this one, it's on the bottom. Almost here where it's flush, right on top of that flush part. And then the cap sits on top of that. So, essentially, when you change the oil and you're trying to screw it back on, I did notice as well that the O-ring gets crushed. And you have to be very patient though, because if not, the O-ring gets pushed out, and essentially that's creating no seal, allowing for leaks to happen in the future, right? So, you have to make sure, in my opinion, the way I did it, just did both of them, very great success. You take off the screw, the bleeder screw, and you make sure your O-ring's oiled, and so is your cap. Make sure your cap and O-ring are oiled, right? Don't be afraid. You could just wash it off later, no big problem. You put it on. Yes, it might bite it a little bit, and it's gonna push it out. Personally, it pushed it out on me 3 times on this one and twice on that one. So you just back it out again. Back it out significantly and come back slowly. You come back slowly, and then maybe it'll bite again. It did for me, so I returned back significantly. You don't want to just back out a little bit. No, you want to back out quite a good amount so it could reset, so that O-ring could reset, and you come back slowly. And I got a seal on both of them, right? Look, no O-ring is sticking out, and they work the way they're supposed to. No rebound, right? So that's the way I'm gonna test this weekend. I'm still waiting on the front pair to arrive, which they should be here by Friday, and I'll give you guys a review soon. But now I'm trying to take care of this problem and give people advice, okay? So once you have that, you could, since your screw's gonna be removed, you simply push it up slowly. Oil's gonna come out through the top bleeder hole. You wipe off that oil. You put back your screw in, right? And the way I do it is I give it another 20 pumps just to make sure any possible air is removed. 20 pumps, it's going to be down. Take off the screw after those 20 pumps. You push up again. It clears it out a little bit, and you put back in the screw. That's essentially going to give you a good no rebound shock, which is what I want because I will be trying these out in bumpy condition. Okay, so for those that absolutely cannot figure this out, or are looking for O-rings just to replace the O-ring in general, because I heard that's what people are doing. They're trying to replace that O-ring with maybe something a little stiffer, right? But they've had bad luck. They've ordered a lot of things and they don't seem to fit, is what I've been told. So a quick alternative way to take care of this, if you really want to, you could put some ultra black gasket maker This one right here in particular says oil resistant, but I also know that the gray version of this works really well as well. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna remove the bottom O-ring. You'll see it if you buy them. You'll see it. It's a little thin O-ring that goes around the bottom here. So you're gonna remove that, and this time you want to make sure it's dry. Once you fill it up to the top, try to remove all that oil off on the sides here. Try to have a dry surface, and you're gonna stick some of this gasket maker on there, on the bottom half. Okay, you don't want to put too much on this. Just put some on the bottom half of it. Use your finger to rub it in on the creases, right, all around. You don't want to have too much. You don't want to have excessive, because you don't want that gasket maker to go into your shock bodies and start messing with your pistons and stuff. But it's possible, because I've done it in other shock packages. I know it works. So if you really want to try an alternative here, that is going to be the route to go, and it will work. Just make sure you don't put too much. Just make sure it's enough where it feels good. Clean it up with your finger. Make sure it's good and smooth, and put the cap on. Okay? Remember, take off the bleeder screw when you're putting the cap on. Another good tip I could give you that I just did with my shocks personally, there's a bronze or brass little gasket in there, okay? And I'm used to there being an O-ring there, right, with for that bleeder screw on my Itskio vehicles, my Techno vehicles, okay? So in this case, I also put a dab of gasket maker on at the end of the screw, but I still have that brass ring in there. But the key here is not to tighten it too much. So putting gasket maker in there will give you a great seal without having to tightening it too hard. But just still close it all the way in until it stops, okay? Just don't over tighten it. And that's the key factor there. So in all, very good quality shocks. I like them. I'm glad I got them, even though the reviews, they kind of scared me a little bit, but I knew with some patience and creativity, this will be no problem. You can get them working. I didn't even do anything to them today besides put gasket maker on the bleeder screws. Everything works the way it should for me. I replaced both the oils, cleaned it out with a little Q-tip in there, make sure there was none of the old oil, because I was putting 20-weight oil. Yeah, I will be probably posting an update soon of how I like them, because after all, this is supposed to be a racing shock, and it does look exactly like it, if I'm being honest. But we will test them out and be posting an update soon. If you guys want to see that update, just comment down below, and I'll make sure to get that out to you guys. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.